The wind outside the courthouse was bone-chilling. I stood on the steps, a divorce agreement clutched in my hand. Memories from my past life flooded back, a tide of pure agony. I had knelt right here, begging for 3 whole hours, while Isabella sat in her car, never even bothering to roll down the window. I cried until I collapsed and a stranger had to take me to the hospital. For 2 years after that, I continued to grovel, a walking corpse clinging to the wreckage of our marriage, trying to piece it back together. Finally, on our 7th wedding anniversary, I swallowed an entire bottle of sleeping pills. As the darkness drowned me, my last thought was, will she regret this? The moment I woke up, reborn, a message glowed on my phone, Noah, courthouse, 10 a.m. today. For the divorce. My hand trembled. Every instinct screamed at me to go back to being the husband who loved her more than life itself. But the memory of death was too vivid. The cold, the hopelessness, the suffocation. And all those nights I had waited like a dog for a single glance from her. Not again. I had to live for myself this time. A black Bentley pulled up to the curb. The door opened, and Isabella stepped out, her long dress trailing, her expression serene. The moment she saw me, her brow furrowed slightly, as if surprised that I had shown up on my own. Noah. Her voice was soft but distant. It's cold out here. Let's go inside. I took a deep breath. My voice trembled, but I held it steady. Ms. Vance, I agree to the divorce. Isabella froze, a flicker of surprise in her eyes, but it vanished as quickly as it came. She even managed a small, relieved smile. Noah, I'm glad you've come to your senses. I thought, but I cut her off. The assets will have to be redivided. The smile on her face hardened. What do you mean? According to marital law, all shared assets are to be split equally. I fought to keep the tremor out of my voice. The warmth on Isabella's face froze for a second before returning. Noah, that's a very hurtful thing to say. I haven't treated you poorly all these years. How could you? I interrupted her again, holding out a file. This is a list prepared by my lawyer. Isabella took the document, her eyes scanning it quickly. Her expression changed instantly. Noah, are you joking? Her voice was still gentle, but an icy edge had crept in. I thought you had finally learned to be reasonable. I see now you were just waiting for this. I'm just asking for what I deserve. What you deserve, she said, her tone like she was scolding a child. Noah, what have you done for this family in the last 3 years? You hide at home all day with that obscure research of yours, spending my money, living in my house, using my resources. I'm willing to give you $1 million in this divorce. You should be grateful, not trying to carve up my assets. Her words were daggers. Tears welled in my eyes. She had said the exact same thing in my past life. She called me a parasite. She said I was unworthy of her. She said I had nothing but a pretty face. Back then, I believed her. I truly thought I was worthless. But this time, Ms. Vance, I said, taking another deep breath. You have 2 months. Otherwise, I'll see you in court. With that, I turned and walked away. My legs felt weak, and my heart was pounding so hard it felt like it would burst from my chest. I gritted my teeth and forced myself to walk 10 meters before I dared to stop, tears streaming silently down my face. It was the first time in my life I hadn't given in. Back at home, I collapsed onto the sofa, my entire body shaking. I looked around at the house I had meticulously decorated for 3 years. Every corner held a piece of my soul. The set of academic models in the study, I had pulled countless all-nighters to build them. Isabella's only comment had been a dismissive "they're fine." The core project proposals for her company, I was the one who stayed up all night researching, analyzing the market, and creating the frameworks for her. Her haute couture gowns in the walk-in closet, I had ironed every single one by hand, ensuring not a single crease was out of place. In my last life, I did these things until the day I died. She never once said, "Thank you for your hard work." My phone buzzed. It was a message from Isabella. There's an important company gala tomorrow night. Be ready in your suit at 7 to accompany me. The old me would have instantly replied, of course, thinking it was a sign she wanted to reconcile. I would have spent the entire day preparing, then stood by her side like a perfect accessory, saying all the right things, smiling the perfect smile. Now, I stared at the screen, my fingers trembling for a full 10 minutes.